Omubaka Muwanga Kivumbi ng'ono ye ssentebe w'akakiiko akapaaka olunaku olwaleero avuddeyo n'akwata ku nkoona abakungu okuva mu yaafiisi ya pulezidenti bano nga babadde bazze okuwa ensaasaanya yaabwe n'embalirira oluvannyuma lwa ssaababalizi wa gavumenti okubassaako essira n'ebyo bye babadde bakola. Okusinziira ku ssaababalizi wa gavumenti bano kiragiddwa ensimbi ze baasaasaanya mpitirivu nnyo era nga bano ezimu zaabalema gala ku akawunta ng'ate tezimanyiddwako mayitire. Ssentebe w'akakiiko kano Muwanga Kivumbi agenda mu maaso n'okutegeeza ku ebyo byazudde era bano
query is in the office of the president. So when he got the report, he's required in his letter, he normally writes to compile a response and assemble all relevant officers, okay, for purposes of this meeting. And he was in perfect order to write, to say, submit. So I think this is okay. Madam, submitting all those files as they are, since JB picked them one by one.
Muwanga Kivumbi kyaddaaki abadde awaliriziddwa bano baweerezaayo wa CID wabula bano abakungu okuva mu yaafiisi ya pulezidenti balaze engeri gye babadde basaasaanyamu ensimbi zino newankubadde ng'ezisinga zibadde matankane ng'empale z'aba7. Bano bagenze mu maaso n'okulaga nti akaseera mwe ssaababalizi wa gavumenti we yabatuukirako baali tebawadde embalirira yonna emu n'ekerewamu ng'erina okuweebwa nga ssaababalizi wa gavumenti amaze
to failure to use framework contracts for repairs and service of vehicles, and that reference, procurement reference number. We are submitting evidence of the transfer of funds to State House worth 205 million, the documents, the payment documents, and we are submitting the details on management and utilization of fuel.
Which is a project under State House. Why you see part of these delays in accounting, you're grappling in how do we get paid, and they are part of State House. So paying a small entity within an entity. So State House, the funds, that's why we ended up in State House as a block figure to settle what they had spent on preparation of drivers' uniforms.
There was no exit meeting at that point. All these documents have been.
Let me ask, did you interact with the auditor on this matter?
Yeah, we interacted with the auditor earlier, and that's how all these others were being dropped. But at the time of exit, when we were supposed to provide probably the rest, is when we did not.
He looks at them, then you appear before them. Then they give you time to go and respond to what you are supposed to respond to. It seems unfortunately the Ministry of Works, when they went back, they never moved very fast to respond to what the audit had told them to respond to.
wabula ye Muwanga Kivumbi n'ababaka abalala okuli Namugga saako ne Salopendi n'abalala bagenze mu maaso okwongera obbaso y'ebibuuzo bano nga babalaga nti embalirira ya gavumenti eggwako ng'ennaku z'omwezi 31 Desemba olwo ne babeera nga bagendera ku ekyo ekiba kivudde ewa ssaababalizi wa gavumenti n'olw'ensonga eyo yonna byonna ebibala biddirira biba tebikyayina mulamwa.
We are evaluating the Auditor General's report and whether we shall adopt it as is or that evidence will force us to think otherwise. But we are not an audit bureau. We don't have the competences, by the way, to fully audit an entity. 2, the audit year is closed. You cannot reopen it. You know, those are obstacles. Eh? We cannot reopen this audit. It is closed on the 31st of December. So anything you respond in February, in whatever, all those things are irrelevant to the given year in audit. I don't know what we can do, but just know the audit queries are sustained. You know what I mean? No. No, sustaining the audit does not mean the committee will not sit in each retreat and evaluate. all these citizens?
Office of the President. Haji Kakande Unit was writing to the Permanent Secretary ICT, to the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Works, a letter dated 12th February 2025 regarding the same audit queries. And yet you said you had an MOU for how to account for funds. And the Auditor General dealt directly with them. So what business did you have in February this year to write to them when clearly they were supposed to account for the funds directly? And the management letter was to them. Because he's raising...
Is that true? That's how you explained it. That there is a procurement file that the auditor looked at and did not look at other contract management file and some other details for payment. That is what he said. I wanted to inquire from you, what constitutes a procurement action file? To me, a procurement action file includes all the documents right from initiation up to completion of a project. So it is unfair of you to claim that you submitted a procurement action file to the auditor.
The Auditor General acknowledges that he received your responses, but the responses he received were wanting, helped by the Assistant Commissioner. You've talked of payment that was in the process. Sir, what are the dates? Are these dates that are dating back before the audit or after the audit? Sir, this is...
Akakiiko we kaggweredde nga bano ebyabwe bijulidde era ng'omubaka Muwanga Kivumbi abagambye balabikeko olunaku olw'enkya balabe nga bongera okuttanya ku nsonga zaabwe zino. Lwaki ensimbi ezisinga obungi bazizzaayo mu kittavu era ne babeera nga tebagikozesa mirimu gyetaagisa, ne lwaki ttenda ezisinga obungi baaziwayo afisi ya pulezidenti okuyambako mu mirimu gy'abavubuka.
Then we shall submit in one file after the other.
I think the date of receipt of the letter, we are going to provide it. We are going to press.
No, you don't need the date of receipt of the letter. I need the letter.
The letter.
And you know the problem, if I must tell you, the moment you give me that letter, I'll dig deeper into it. You may think it is about this query, it may even open the 8 billion. That's a danger. I'm not intimidating you. You may think the chairman is intimidating us.
Channel 44 regular nze Nixon Bale wano ku lukiiko lw'eggwanga olukulu mu Kampala.